Okay, boom. And we are live. Wow. I Park Hill, we are live.
Excellent.
It's
Excellent.
7:04.
That sounds
So,
close enough for government work, right?
oh man. This is the soonest we've ever broadcasted after the time I said. Yeah. Yeah, totally. We could use a little more light on Mr. Park Hill, but
Really?
don't stress out about it. Actually, just you're fine now, and then maybe we'll hit a flashlight. But you're fine. You're fine. I can see your face fine. When it comes to the what's in the background,
Right.
we'll need some more light on that. But yeah, Park
Yeah, I can
Hill,
work on that.
Park Hill, how are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. How are you? How
I'm
cool.
good.
How cool.
Wow.
Uh,
Um,
would we have thought
this
45, 50 years ago that we'd have some sort of conversation like this
yeah,
online?
yeah,
Which, what was online,
yeah, yeah.
right?
And then 50 years of really 50 years of music between the two of us,
Yep.
right? And some of it shared, and we're going to go into that tonight for sure. Yeah. Wow. So this is episode 7, and it's the Park Hill interview. And so Park, I've known him since I was 11 and 12, I think. I've known him since I was 12, and he was in 5 bands in Orlando, and I saw 4 of them.
At
I
least
never saw
four of
real
them, right?
camera. I saw
Yeah.
real camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But before that, of course,
right. The
all sorts
beginning.
of, our fathers worked together, of course, for many years,
Right.
and we spent some summers terrorizing Disney.
We
Of course,
did.
we did
We
that,
did.
and we won't talk much about that. But
Right. So trying to score like what cigars with the cherry cigars. Some of them had wood. Remember, we tried to go. We were like 14 and trying to score like. Well, anyway, doesn't matter what the cigars
well, I
were.
was I was recently telling someone about those episodes out of Disney, and I remember there was a little shop where we
Yeah.
bought these corgi uh, race cars, 917 Porsches, and
Right.
it's had right in the middle of Disney. There was this little gift
Yeah.
store, and
Yeah.
they sold incense, and we bought
Yeah.
incense and corgi car toys there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Park, remember on Main Street, the magic shop? We
Oh yeah.
always because
Always been.
Bud like turned us on to the magic
Yeah.
shop. We
Yeah.
went in there
Sure.
every freaking time.
Yeah. We definitely terrorized that place, dropping pennies off the Contemporary Hotel top of the hotel.
Yeah, yeah, top of the world, and then sneaking into Ryan's backwards
Yep.
eventually. That was yeah, but
On a
yeah,
music note there, a
yeah, we saw
couple
some
summers I
players.
got to play out there with my dad and your dad on the
Yeah,
river boats that went around through the
yeah,
man-made lakes around the hotel. Our dads did a trio thing where my dad got to play electric, and uh, uh, they would let me come out, and I'd bring a bass drum, a snare drum, a floor tom, a hi hat, and a ride cymbal, and I'd play brushes all night.
wow,
And
wow,
I
and
I
I
got I
yeah,
got to play sticks on one tune. They'd play a sweet sweet Georgia Brown, and I'd take 4 bars a few times solo, and that was kind of like the
wow,
last song of the night. But I mean, I
wow,
was in the fourth grade, fourth or fifth grade,
right,
and
right.
the people at Disney knew about it, but it was like Friday and Saturday night, and I must have,
Old school Bob Cross.
Yeah, exactly. And
Were
uh,
yeah.
I must have done that at least a dozen times
Wow.
when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just great looking back. That's like, wow, it
Mm,
was really fun thing. And just playing brushes all night.
right.
You
And
know?
and and what a great way to learn to play brushes, right? Because you're learning live. Um, I remember you telling me that, and I knew you had done that, and I was always like, "Wow, how cool!" And so what we just said there was Park played with my dad and Park's dad, Park Hill Senior, and was it violin?
Milt
Was it
Hackney,
Milt
Milt
Hackney?
Milt playing
No,
violin, and
Milt
on those
Hackney.
gigs mostly clarinet, because
Wow,
it
right,
was outside
right.
on the riverboat, you know.
Clarinet. Yeah,
And
he played clarinet.
but as a
Gosh, I
trio,
forgot
they
about that.
they typically played at the Gulf Coast Room, which was on the
Right.
fourth floor,
Yeah.
and that was the restaurant
Contemporary
where
Contemporary
everybody,
Hotel.
yeah, they brought all the VIPs into that restaurant. Dude, I got to tell this story real quick.
Oh man.
So
So
you're
stories galore, Park, go.
okay. Well,
Go.
this one's good because this is involves your dad.
Wow.
Uh, so they were playing in the Gulf Coast room, and they strolled the tables and took requests. And again, Disney
Mhm.
always brought any VIP who came to the property. They made sure they went to the Gulf Coast room to eat.
And most of them were staying at the Contemporary.
Oh yeah,
It-
definitely in those
Either
days.
the
Yeah,
Contemporary or the Polynesian, and if they were the Polynesian, they just ride the monorail to the Contemporary. But that back, folks, we're talking 72, 73, 74.
yeah.
There was just the Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary Hotel, and the Polynesian Hotel, and that was Disney. That was
Yeah.
it.
And not too long after that, the golf resort too. But
Right, right,
but
right,
uh,
right.
so one night they're strolling, and who's in the restaurant but Mr. Orville Redenbacher. I'm not kidding. No shit. That's Orville Redenbacher, as
Right.
in popcorn. Orville Redenbacher, and man, they play
Wow.
for him, and he pulls a sticker
I
out of
remember
his
this story.
jacket,
I
and
know this
he
story.
pasted it on your dad's 100-year-old, priceless upright bass. And I think I remember my dad just saying, your dad was just stunned, like speechless, just picturing the finish coming off this bass with that freaking sticker.
The sticker.
And your dad didn't say anything, no one said anything. They got back to the dressing room, and I think, thank the Lord, the sticker came off without damaging that priceless instrument. But
Right,
I
right,
tell that
right.
story. It's hilarious.
And I remember the story. I know it. I know it well. And Dad, yeah, he had a couple incidents with the bases there at Disney. But yeah, man, yeah, it actually happened. And yeah, he was pissed. He said, in Park, I talked to Dad at the house, like, afterwards. I think I
Yeah.
was 18 or 20 or whatever, or maybe not yet, but well, I'm sure we were having a beer, and I said, "Oh wow," and you could just tell, yeah, how pissed he was.
Yeah.
Man, there were other people that came through there. Dad told a story. Part you might not know this one. He told a story where Jose Feliciano. You'll totally get a kick out of this. Jose Feliciano is in the restaurant, right? Gold Coast Room,
Yeah.
Contemporary Hotel, Disney, 74, whatever approximate year, and um, and so part. Check it out. Jose decides to get up from the table and take the bass and play it.
Play bass
Play dad's bass.
while
Uh,
my dad's playing guitar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. And and Dad was fine with that. He was like, yeah, he seemed he was very confident. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was at a confident stage in life, and he said, yeah, he played, um, but Dad was like, he insisted
Yeah.
that he get
Hey, I'm Jose Feliciano. Give me your bass.
right.
Right.
But the stories. So still the intro. So that's the ultimate intro, and we have to break it up a little bit because we're not going to immediately go into the interview part, but really we kicked it off with the beginning of the interview. So there's not much to say. I wanted to mention the police because the police were a big part. So Park and I have known each other since 12, 13 years old, and likewise listen to music as we got older. We were listening to the same stuff basically. When I went to UCF and
Some of the same.
moving pictures came out, and I talked to you about that afterwards.
Yeah.
But even before that, there were other records that came out, and you were taking off. So this is the intro. I just want to mention the police because they'll come up again because
Yeah. Well,
there's two.
I have a great police story that involves you too. So.
Oh wow, man, I might not remember that. So it might be yeah. Oh, so anyway, there's the police. There's Alan Holdsworth,
Oh.
and then there's all our favorite drummers.
Yeah.
Right.
And guitar
So
players.
that's
Yeah.
the intro. And there was a shoot the shit section. I wanted to do one correction from Carolyn's interview. I may have done it last time, but I wanted to make sure she was right. I brought it. Park, you'll appreciate this. I was at my only other interview is Carolyn Willis, who plays locally, and I've known her for a long time from work. And anyway, I said we basically bottom line, Power Station came up, and Tony Thomas, the drummer. Actually, we were talking about the bands of the '90s, '80s, '90s, and the girl singers, and she does a couple of the covers, and it was about Madonna and stuff. And I said, "Do you know that Tony Thomas was the drummer, and he like freaking shredded all of Madonna's early stuff, like on the record?
Yeah.
Fantastic." But so then I brought up Power Station, and I said Robert Palmer and Power Station, and she said Bang a Gong, and I said no, that was Mark Bolan. That was like, but she's right. She so the correction was they did a cover of it, and I haven't. But anyway, so that was the correct.
I went and saw them when they toured.
Yeah.
Robert Palmer didn't tour with them.
Right.
Michael Gaspars.
Yeah. Michael DeBarnes, man, Park, and so that touches on. So Park saw. He's the only person I know. I know more than one person that's seen Led Zeppelin, but I only know one person that's seen Power Station, and it's Park. Holy shit!
In Tampa at the
Curtis Hickson or something.
I want to. Isn't there at one time there might have been shows inside somewhere at the fairgrounds inside. Now that fairgrounds place is a big open air stadium, but there used to be a inside facility there too, and I think that's where I saw them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Tony Thompson on drums and John Taylor and Andy Taylor.
Andy Taylor. So the real genius of that band really was the Taylor brothers, John and Andy Taylor, who were what were they in before that? They were Duran. So people don't realize that that the Taylor brothers really kept going. I wish I would like to have Andy Taylor in my living room right now, fucking shredding something.
You know, at the same time that they did Power Station,
Yeah.
Simon Le Bon and Nick Rhodes did a record called Arcadia, which was
Wow.
a dance record. They had their own kind of offshoot from Duran, and then
Right. Or
uh,
dance.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
and then
Taylor
and
brothers were more rock.
yeah, not they're not none of them are brothers. There's three Taylors, but none of them are brothers. But
Really? I thought
well,
the two were.
yeah,
Okay.
no, no, none of
Okay,
them are
cool.
brothers.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, so there what they the other two guys did their Arcadia thing. That's a good record too. It's a cool record.
I've never heard it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna after this is over, I'm gonna go check it out.
yeah, you should.
Wow. So so we kind of did the intro and then I had the one bang a gong. Oh, I had one more mention. So Park, what I do is I do an intro and then I do like a correction from the previous episode or
Yep.
updates where somebody passes away, right? Because man,
Yeah.
it happens frequently. So, luckily, on a good note, the news for 2026. So, Park, I did a whole episode on Rush, and I know I mentioned the Rush tour coming up 2026 with the Anika Niles.
Yeah.
My goodness, and I just wanted to mention again. It's not. It's just an update as far as 2026 is here, and Rush is going to be touring with the Anika Niles, and she's not going to be doing same drum parts
Oh,
for the songs.
I hope not. Yeah.
She's
Gotta.
not.
Yeah.
She's not. Um,
Yeah.
they'll certainly be that. I'm sure they've been working on that. Worked on it for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. She's going to be doing Anika playing. So Park. I did know her. From Eve. Um, or the bus and
Yeah.
and it was September. September was the first time I heard about it a little bit, like a
Yeah.
little bit. Didn't check it out in October. Wow, that's interesting. And then I'm like, wow, who is she? And then October, November, and man, I was checking her out. So Park basically in her stuff she's done before,
Yeah.
her polyrhythms. She's like as far as I can tell, she melds polyrhythms into her playing. And
Yeah.
I've never seen, you and I have seen drum clinics or people or drummers, chambers, whoever, doing polyrhythms, live. But she seems to make it part of her playing.
Yeah. She's been around for a long
Wow.
time,
Tell me.
and she's I think she studied with Benny Greb, who's a German guy who's he's all
German.
worldwide. Great drummer. Check him out, Benny Greb, Greb,
Yeah.
and he's just a
Wow.
monster player. He's got a lot of presence on the internet. A lot of content. So does she. But yeah, she's a great drummer, man. A
She
lot of
does.
odd type, a lot of her. There's a lot of
I,
video out there. I've not seen
there
her a
is.
lot with a live
There is.
band so much. There's video out
Yeah.
there. She played with Jeff Beck. She did a tour with Jeff Beck,
Her Beck's
and
last tour, I heard.
yeah,
Yeah,
and with
yeah.
Tal
Tal
Wickenfield,
Walken,
whatever her name is. Yeah,
welcome, Phil. Welcome,
so
Phil.
she's yeah, man. I hope they change it up. I'm sure they will. I'm sure there's some things, trademark things that she'll have to play, just
Yeah, of
because. But
course.
I hope
Right.
I hope they just
Right. You can't get upset that drum
yeah.
part too much. I'm sorry.
So
Go
that'll
ahead.
be cool to see. That'll be fun to see. I mean I love Rush, and but after I don't know. what was the record after moving pictures? Subdivisions, maybe.
Subdivisions
I
was
think that's,
after moving pictures.
that's kind of where I left off. Really, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't
me
really.
kind of me too. Yeah,
That's where I think parted ways with. I mean, great musician,
yeah,
great stuff, but
right.
yeah,
You nailed it. It was moving some. God, but it was moving pictures, and then subdivisions, and then
and
there was one before that, and I did the Rush episode, so you'll have to go check that out. I know what that was called, but man, so Park, do you remember back like when I moved to UCF, and then so now I'm in Orlando at UCF, and Park lived in Orlando, and then I could go visit you,
right.
but it was not often. I was busy and Park was busy, um, but there were a few times where I went over to Mimosa
Mimosa,
Avenue. Was
Mimosa
it
Drive. Yeah,
Mimosa
Mimosa
Drive?
Drive.
Mimosa. It's mimosa. It like kind of named after the drink, maybe mimosa. But anyway,
Perhaps
it,
that's
they,
possible. Certainly,
yeah,
I think it's a plant, though. Actually, right?
right,
Not
right,
mimosa.
right. Yeah, but then I got to visit, and at some point, so I guess we're going straight into it. But we do have other stuff here that's going to be fun. But
Well,
this is
uh,
great.
okay. Before I forget, I told you I had a little police story.
Let's hear it.
So you went and saw the police
Yes,
at the Great Southern Music Hall,
79.
79, and you called me and asked me to go, and I couldn't go. Do you remember that?
Mm,
You did. You called me. I was at my
whoa.
mother's house,
Because I know you would
uh,
appreciate it.
and you called, and I answered the phone, and you said, "Man, I got 2 tickets to see the police." And
Right.
dude, uh, uh, Roxanne was just on the radio. They were in Orlando pretty quick, and
Yes.
I'm like, I can't go, man, and I didn't
79.
freaking go. And you called me with a ticket, and I didn't go.
And so
And I
we'll
think
touch
the first time and only time I've only seen them once, and I saw them
yeah,
on the synchronicity tour,
synchronicity.
which was
Cool.
mind blowing.
Mm.
But yeah, I
It
missed
is.
out on that.
I was listening to the synchronicity live thing before we started.
Awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, that is so cool that I Park. That makes so much sense because you it I don't know if we talked about it before then. We would not have talked about Stuart Copeland before that
No.
because we didn't know who he was. We just
No.
knew the Police had this song.
Yeah.
And when I invited you, I'm thinking like I had heard part of the record, and I'm like, Park, this might be fun. And so anyway, but you have so counter to Park's thing with the Police was you going to see Zappa. Phil, you should go see Zappa. It was like
Yeah.
84, 83. And
Yeah.
I'm like, CF and I'm busy. It's the same thing. And I passed and or something along those lines. It might
Yeah.
not have been Zappa, but it was another show like that. But we both got part. We both got to see Terry Bozzio and Dale Bozzio. What's the name of the band?
Missing persons.
Missing Persons at Spit in
Yeah.
in Winter Park there,
Yeah. So that was
Park Avenue
that.
Club.
And so a little trivia there is the
There.
guitar player from Missing Persons, right? Warren Cucurullo
Yeah.
was the latest guitar player. Well, the latest one named in the band Duran Duran. And
Wow.
so
Wow.
there's all these connections because
Yeah.
You talk about the power station, which is really that's Nile Rodgers, Bernard Edwards. Nile
Nile.
Rodgers produced Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers produced Missing Persons' last record.
Wow.
There's all
Wow.
those connections, and then they
Wow.
all played for Zappa too.
The
Patrick
genesis
O'Hearn, the
was the
piano
Zappa
player.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Terry Bozzio, that was Warren Cucurullo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Patrick O'Hearn. They all played with Zappa, and
Yeah.
and that's who I saw was Zappa. And it was a
Gotcha.
weird show because it was at the Orange County Convention Center, and that
Strange place.
yeah, they never
Horrible
really
sound.
had. Well, they just never. That wasn't really ever a concert venue, but for
Right.
maybe a
Right.
very brief time. And I still have
Right.
this. I still have that concert stub. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I've got
Wow.
them all actually, but yeah,
Wow. So part take me back a little bit. This is the Zappa show,
yeah,
and is Bozio drumming?
yes. As I recall, it was Bozio.
Terry was it?
Yeah, but
Probably.
I went with a guy named Ed Skull. Do you remember
Ed.
Ed? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ed was a great guy. He we
Your
were kind of
roommate in the
well, we
trailer
were roommates
days.
for
Yeah.
a while, and he took a lot of band pictures. He was always the
Oh
guy who
my
came out and took
God.
like all our band pictures.
Sure.
That's Joe Gretzky now.
It is Joe Gretzky now.
Shout out to Joe Gretzky.
Shout
Cheers,
out.
motherfucker.
Hold on. Hey, Part. Shout out to Joe Gretzky.
Shout out to Joe
He may
Gretzky.
not be listening, but my gosh, Joe, the glue that holds it together here. Park and I are still talking. Joe is partly responsible for
You could
that. But
dedicate a whole show to just us
episode.
talking about Joe. He wouldn't even have to be here. We'd just talk about him for about 2 hours. Is there a time? Is there a time limit on this thing? Give me some time so I can break out some pictures and stuff. We could really have quite a show.
No film. No Road Atlanta Deliverance film.
Okay. So what music is next on your list? You mentioned Alan Holdsworth. You mentioned
Wow.
some other stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, so you saw Zappa, and that was fantastic. Out and basically, Park. My recollection was you. I was at UCF, and back then it was 82, 83, 84, and
Yeah.
you get a phone call. That's the only way you could get a hold of somebody was with a
Yeah.
phone call. It's the only
Yeah.
way you could talk to them. And at some point, you said when musicians when musicians are serious about hearing somebody, man, when somebody calls and says, "Hey, you need to check these people out," it's a tough sell because locally it's not might not be great, but
Yeah.
here's Mark calling me, in 82 in at Cayenne Avenue at UCF and saying, "Phil, Zappa's coming. You should see him." And I ended up I probably didn't pass on the phone, but I ultimately passed because I didn't get a ticket and I didn't go. Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's all hindsight. It's like that lot I should have bought on Deer Island about 2 years ago that doubled in price. I should have done that too. And I should have gone to see the Police with you in 1979. There's a long list of regrets,
Right. Right. Oh my gosh.
Some musically related, some real estate related. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're all regrets.
So, I'm going to go back to my sheet here because sometimes it helps. That's the question. Hang on. Here it is. Okay. So forget that, and we already did the shoot the shit. And I did not show you my shirt. So, Park, there's actually a show you my shirt section
Oh,
when
good,
Will and
because
I are.
I wore a very important shirt this evening.
You do have an important shirt.
I
So this
do.
is the show your shirt section. All
Okay.
right. You want to go
You go
first?
first? Yeah, I'll go first. I got it right here.
Man,
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Beaver Felton,
Beaver
one of
Felton.
my heroes, incredible bass player,
Wow.
uh, Orlando guy,
Yeah.
owns a store here in Castleberry called Bass Plus, I believe it is. And this guy
Wow.
is old school. One of the first, really slapping, funky bass players. Had a great, very well purchased, very famous video. Early day instructional video, and yeah, all around great guy and just a great bass player. And so my kudos to Mr. Beaver
Wow.
Felton tonight. Yeah,
Beaver Felton. Yes.
great bass
Yeah.
player. Just Google Beaver Felton, man,
Yeah.
and you're prepared to have your mind blown.
Cool.
Pretty much. Yep.
Very cool. And the shirt is Beaver Felton.
Beaver Felton, that's his name.
Felton. Yeah.
Great bass player. So you check him out.
My shirt is so Park we were up in Annapolis visiting Zach and these two grandbabies, these two girls, and 3 and 2.
I didn't know there were two.
My
Now I knew there was one, but I didn't know there were two.
There's 2 and
Congratulations.
they're 3 and 2. And they tear around. And man, Zach took me to I'm segueing. I just want to show the shirt, but
Yeah.
Zach, they have this combined in Annapolis. They have this combined. I say combined. They're actually 2 separate stores. Just absolutely, just share a wall. It's a comic book store and then a record store. And man, oh my gosh, it was killer. But so that was so anyway, my this will surprise some people, but probably wouldn't surprise Park. Goo Goo Dolls. So
Okay.
Zach and Justine is a big Goo Goo Dolls fan, and they've seen them several times. There was a meet and greet, and
Yeah.
they met the guys, and
Yeah.
the guys are really cool.
Well, cool.
They
Let's see
sent
it.
me.
Let's see it.
They sent me this cool fucking shirt.
Oh yeah, that's a guitar.
Is it? I don't
Yeah.
even know what it is.
It's a guitar. It's just a photograph from the bottom up. Those are the volume knobs, the pickups. So yeah, if you turn it over, maybe it'll make more sense. They played on a New Year's show that we were watching from Vegas. They did a set. It was
Yeah,
and they played live
They're good.
too,
They're
which was
good.
cool. Which a lot of that stuff was
yeah,
canned. All the New Year's stuff is
right.
they're
right.
singing, but they're singing to tracks nobody's really playing. But the
The
thing
Goo
from
Goo
Vegas,
Dolls did it.
Goo Goes, yeah, they were playing for sure.
Yeah. So I got, and it's a strange reference because Phil's normally used to much heavier things and whatnot, but
Yeah,
Park,
they're good. That's a good band. They've been around too.
they've been around.
They've
Yeah.
stood the test of time somehow.
They have. Justine is like the biggest fan of the Goo Goo Dolls, and then Zach goes along, but he
Yeah.
loves them as well. And but anyway, so that was that part. That's the segue. That's I can't get right up and doing segues. So
But my only comment on that, your daughter-in-law loves the Goo Goo Dolls. Chicks dig good-looking lead singers with a guitar in their hand that dance around and sing really good.
right.
Go figure.
Yeah. So Justine,
I
I'll
don't
have
have
to.
I don't have that kind of charisma. I have to sit behind a drum kit.
So this is great information. Really, Justine, she'll hear this eventually, and she'll love it. She'll love it. That the lead singer with the guitar, the second
Yeah, he's a
guy.
good-looking guy, sings
Yeah,
well, you know.
yeah,
Chicks dig that.
that's super cool. But they are good, of course.
They are good. It's a good band.
Um, so I want to Park, if we may, I'm going to list off Park's five bands that I think he was in. So I think Park was in five bands. Now, and these are the ones that you went out and played, and not like getting together and
Right,
started like
right.
a side project.
I got you.
Um, I think it started out with the Blind Dates, and then it went to Heart Attack Diner, and then it went to Real Camera,
Yeah,
and then it went to League of Nations. But actually, League would be floating in between all this.
that's
But
very true. Yeah,
um,
that's it.
Real Camera and League, wherever that started in your career, and then Solar Eclipse, the killer fucking reggae band. And
Yeah.
I've seen all. There's five bands, and I've seen four of them. I have not seen Real Camera.
Yeah, real cameras didn't really play a whole lot in Orlando. I mean, we did, but uh,
Tampa or something.
mostly over in
Yeah.
the Tampa area. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah. So the blind dates.
Blind
Uh,
dates.
I someone I was at the music store one day, and this guy who was kind of a local music aficionado. So this he was a musician, but he knew everybody in town, and he knew bands and people who were looking for a bass player or a guitar player or whatever. And so he just told me, he goes, "Hey, this band, the Blind Dates, is looking for a drummer, and you should call this guy Bob Cara." So I did,
Wow, Bob.
and that's 1983,
Wow. Wow.
probably summer of '83.
Wow.
And so uh, he said, "Yeah, Joe called me and told me about you, so let's get together." So I went and got together with him, and I got together with him twice, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, we're going to do it." So, but they had a couple gigs with their other drummer, and so it took a few months. But I think my first gig with them was at the end of '83, and
Mm.
yeah, man, it was a really good band. A lot
Wow.
of original tunes, and you know, just uh, kind
Rex.
of weird
Rex.
Rex Beach. Uh,
Rex.
so we did everything from the Clash to we
Yeah.
did the Police, but we did a lot of Squeeze, a lot of Brit pop, but a bunch of originals. Elvis
Britpop.
Costello,
Yeah. You
Johnny
did.
Winter. Just the band just did a lot of different stuff.
Lot,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
propelled you eventually to Cancun, but we don't want to jump. So yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Wow.
so yeah, then Heart Attack Diner, and the most recent news about that band, because we've really been together for 30 plus years, whatever.
Right.
Sean, the bass player, Sean Fernandez, passed away
Fernand.
just a few months ago,
Bless his
tragically,
heart.
sadly. Yeah.
Sadly, yeah.
So not sure what is in the future for Heart Attack Diner, but we weren't really playing a whole lot anyhow.
Right, right.
Very rarely.
One offs,
Uh,
kind of. Yeah, yeah.
but that we'll see what happens there. But Heart Attack Diner, yeah, we did. That's the next band I kind of played in, and we got to do a lot of stuff. We really did. You mentioned Cancun. We got to travel. We had some popularity locally, and uh,
Yeah,
yeah, we did real well for a few years. And
yeah, yeah. Very well.
but it did. But it, you know,
Tell me about the recording. You guys recorded that tape, that cassette tape,
well,
the diner cassette.
yeah. There's actually 3 records out. Well, 4 really. We did that first record. The cassette was just
That's the one I
I don't
have.
think CDs were around then, believe it or
Right,
not.
they were not. They
So
were
that
not.
fuck. And so yeah, so that the first record, and then the uh, we did a record here at my studio. That was 2008 or something. I can't even remember now, but
Wow.
that was all
Wow.
recorded and mixed and mastered here. And then there's another record called Leftovers, which is just a bunch of stuff. I think all of it's on iTunes. I think if you search
Huh.
iTunes, you can find Heart Attack Diner stuff. Um, yeah, but I I left Heart Attack Diner after about 4 or 5 years and joined this band, Real Cameras, who were from Tampa, and they
Tampa.
were
Yeah.
they were signed with CBS Records, and it was just a great band. I had gone to see
Wow.
them. I knew them. The bass player in the band had been in a band called Foreign Legion, if you remember them.
Foreign Legion. Yeah.
They had a record out on
Got wire
CBS.
in. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was with Foreign Legion. He joined Real Cameras, and then they brought me on as the drummer. Their bass player and drummer
Wow.
had left, and so
Wow.
I was with them for about 2 years. And that band really kind
Really?
of that band really was the first time playing bigger stages, doing opening shows and stuff like that.
Wow.
It was just a little
Park.
more. It was a little more polished.
Park. I never got. So. That's the only band I didn't get to see you play in. I saw. I think every other band.
Yeah, it was a really good band. The guitar player went on. He moved out to L.A. and he joined a band called Red Cross, Redd Cross,
Huh.
and they did pretty well. They toured. They toured with Stone Temple Pilots, and they had a
Right.
big following in L.A. and had a few
Wow.
records out, and
Gotcha.
kind of pop rock. But sadly, his name was Eddie Kurzweil, and sadly, he passed away from a heroin overdose.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
yeah, but great guitar player, man.
Right.
Really enjoyed playing with that band. It was really good.
Wow.
And then you mentioned League of Nations, which that's
So so let me ask.
yeah,
League kind of came along at some point when you're playing, and then you stuck with it. But it was somewhat of a separate project from
yeah,
trying to do
yeah,
bands. Um,
totally.
so when it actually it goes to the Q&A. I have a Q&A, and I know it goes. So here it is. Uh, it says, my question says, League of Nations. How did you
How do we what?
how did you join? How did you join the band?
So
Like,
Scott Henson, who's the guitar player in the band, it's his project really. He he called me and said, "Hey man, I have this project. I'm looking for a drummer, and we're uh, we're going to be opening for the Dixie Dregs." And I'm like,
right,
"Okay."
right.
So
Oh my god.
yeah,
And I
so I
saw this gig, but yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so he had this bass player, this gentleman, Mike Barler, six-string bass player, who was just
Right, right.
unbelievable. Played Paganini's suites and just like incredible playing. Coltrane solos on and Charlie Parker solos on the bass and just
Mike Marlar
ridiculous.
was truly
Yeah,
gifted. Yeah.
very gifted, and I don't know what happened to him, but so I got this tape from Scott, and there was only 4 tunes on it, and I scrambled to learn those tunes, and then we got together and we picked other tunes to do, and we opened for the Dixie Dregs. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was a packed house at the Great Southern Music Hall. But that band went on to do a lot of cool stuff, man. We opened for a lot of people. We opened for Steve Vai. We opened for Yngwie Malmsteen twice.
Wow.
We played with the Dixie Dregs. We played with the Steve Morse band twice. Uh,
Wow.
Eric Johnson. So
So hold on. Um, that was kind of a rush of information as far as the bands that you mentioned, Morris and everybody. Um, Super cool. I'm just taking it in, and you can go back. Go.
well,
Sorry.
we had a book. There was
Wow.
a booking agent here in Orlando, Adam
Yeah.
Shipley, who booked. He booked everything in those days. He booked the Great Southern Music Hall when it was still a theater,
Wow.
and he booked the jazz club next door, but he really liked the band, and
Yeah.
we were a
The
great fit
social. The
for
social. Yeah.
the Dixie Dregs or the Yngwie Malmsteens of the world. We were a great opener
For
for
sure.
that because it's League of Nations is it's a lot of shred guitar and it's
Right.
it's
Right.
it's great tunes. So
Right.
we were just a good fit for that, and in Orlando there wasn't really anyone doing that, so we were
Right.
we got a lot of great slots and a lot of
Yeah.
great openers. But we
Yeah.
never put out. We did a lot of recording, but we never put out a record. And so
True.
currently, Scott and I are talking about doing some
Doing it.
shows in April and May, and
Oh
also
my
talking about finally
gosh.
maybe putting a record together. There's a few really
Really?
nice places to play here in Orlando now. We have the Blue Bamboo, which is now at the old Winter Park Library, which is nice. You have Judson's at the Dr. Phillips Center, which I think we would do well there, and a couple other places we can put some shows together, and we might be able to put some shows together out in Biloxi where Scott lives. He lives in Biloxi,
Biloxi. Scott.
and
So Scott Henson, the lead
right,
guitarist for League of Nations, lives in Biloxi, Mississippi,
yeah,
and he plays regularly at the scene. But
he
part
plays
I
all
was gonna
over. Yeah,
part something jumped in my mind. Um, God, I hope I remember it. Um, I'm not gonna remember it right now,
but
but
you were at
keep going.
the Dixie Dregs show, weren't you?
I was,
Yeah.
yeah. Trust that, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Dixie Dregs. You guys open. So here's. Sorry, I will. So I have a mute button over here, but apparently it doesn't work, so I gave up. But I shouldn't cough on the thing. But um, so Park opens for the Dixie Dregs, and it was killer. What was noticeable? So the stage, you guys got the stage covered, and Park's set is in front of Rod Morgenstein's set. It's really what occurs.
It is. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I have a
But
picture of it somewhere.
but but
Andy.
but the ultimate part of the my story that I remember Park telling me um, is that he looks behind him. So as he's opening
You
up
can't.
for Dixie Dregs, behind him is Rod Morgenstein and
That's
um,
the stage. You can't really see it though.
Tommy
It's not. Oh, there you
Tommy
go. There
Tommy
you go.
Tommy Alders. Yeah.
No,
Wow.
Rod Morgenstein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how this is
But,
showing
but
on, but
yeah.
that's.
No, it was good.
Oh,
It was
okay.
good.
I actually have that
Dude,
picture on my phone from.
but Park, do you
Yeah.
remember where um you're playing and it's not just Rod Morgenstein; it's Tommy Aldridge as well.
I
Did
don't
I
know.
mention that? I think
I don't
you told
remember.
me that
I don't
because
know.
Tommy
I don't
was been
remember that
hanging
part.
out. Tommy was just been hanging out just because
That
he's
could be.
local. I think.
I
I
can't
think
remember.
that's the thing. I think that's the thing.
Excuse me. But yeah, those were good
Wow.
gigs, and we were very fortunate to get them. It's a long list of big shows we got to play. Just, I mean, it was a really good band, but uh, it just fit the bill for those shows. Basically, it's all instrumental. There's no lead
Right.
singer, man. No lead singer.
No lead singer. Right.
No lead singer.
Right. So
Just
so
everybody
let's
else in the band. Lead guitar player, lead bass player, lead piano player, lead sax
yeah.
player. I'm the one that's holding it down. Everybody else is shredding,
Right. Right. Like,
and
what
I'm just
what the fuck are you other people doing? Yeah, on stage. But anyway, part my biggest question is about the Cancun thing. So how many? So it goes on to the question and answer thing.
right.
Um, how many people quit their jobs to go to Cancun? That's the
Only me,
question.
because I was the only one in the band who had a job. So, no, nobody else had a job in that band. They were young and carefree, and I did. I quit my job to go down to Cancun to do it. I asked for the time off, but that they wouldn't let that happen. So,
Right, 6 weeks. Right, 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 right.
well, it ended up
My
being
God.
that long. So it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be like 4 weeks, but yeah. So Heart Attack Diner, we got this opportunity to go down to Cancun and play at the Hard Rock Cafe in Cancun for 4 weeks,
Right.
and we took all our own gear down there. We even took some PA
Oh,
equipment. We loaded up
sure,
all these crates, and we
sure.
flew down there. They unloaded everything, and they wouldn't let our equipment through customs. They wouldn't let the drums or the
Oh,
any of the amp. They wouldn't let any of the equipment through customs because they were afraid that we were going to sell the equipment. That was the reason they gave.
ah.
So it took a few days to get through customs there.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh, a few days. So
but
what do you do in the meantime?
we sat at the
Get it?
bar, basically.
Oh my gosh.
We explored downtown Cancun. We went to the
Sure.
cockfights. We did all kinds of silly stuff. But
Cockfight.
we, uh, I could, yeah, we could do a couple other shows on this trip. But uh,
Ah,
so we finally got our equipment, but only after we had to join the Cancun Musicians Union.
yeah,
They made us join the Musicians Union, which the Hard Rock paid for all of it. But
of course.
so we played. We ended up being there almost 6 weeks, and we played for about
Wow.
5 weeks.
Mm.
And it was just crazy. We played 6 nights a week, and it was just
6 nights
great.
a week.
Yeah,
Any musicians out there, 6 nights a week straight, the fucking torches your ass. But
and
keep
it
going.
yeah it was and it was 4 sets. We. I'll tell you though, we
Four
got
sets.
the band just got
Tight.
tight, just like
Tight.
unbelievable. We were just reading each
Yeah.
other's minds by the time we
Yeah.
were done with
Yeah.
that gig,
Sure.
and it was just great. I mean, there are just so many stories. We really made great friends with the people who worked there too, and I did keep in touch with this guy for a while. Lived in Mexico City, but there was no Facebook, there was no social media, there was no there was none of this.
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
always had a camera or a disposable camera with me, but man, I just think back and how all that, that wasn't very well recorded
Right.
from a photographic standpoint. I do have some pictures from that trip, but not a lot. But it was a lot of fun. The band got really tight. We were at our peak, and it was crazy that
Wow.
the guy the guy who owned the place was like part of some Mexican drug cartel, and he was the nicest guy ever. I got
Sure.
really sick. I got really sick. And he came
Sure.
and got me. And he said, I'm going to take you to the pharmacy. And he took me to the pharmacy, which, of course, you could buy just about anything over the counter.
Right.
And I was healthy within a couple days. They tell you not to drink the water, but if you're there for 6 weeks, you can't help but,
Right.
we all got sick
Consume.
at one point. But
Right.
it
Right.
was just a lot of fun, a great trip. Uh, we had another trip to Cuba of all places. We did a USO trip where we went to
So
Guantanamo
so
Bay
so
and
so
played.
so so for the public, um, Park had done the um, Heart Attack Diner had done the opening for the Hard Rock, um, the Hard Rock in Cancun, and we just talked about that, and now we're segueing to the Cuba gig, and this is Guantanamo Bay and Park Go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we did a USO thing where we went down there. We were down there for
Gusto.
about 5 days, 4 or 5 days, and we played three shows. Uh, just a lot of fun. Uh, we hung out with these guys. They were Navy SEALs, and they were just crazy. I think I
Wow.
told you this. They would show up. We all had a room at the bachelor's officers' quarters, and these guys would show up in the morning and with like a van, cases of beer, and bags of potato chips, and we just like drove around in a van and drank beer all day on the Guantanamo Bay, and we would drive to the furthest point you could go to without getting into like this no go zone, and we could actually see the Cuban guards with rifles in a guard tower, like 150
Right.
yards away.
Sure.
They had these giant lizards on the island, like uh, like an iguana the size of a 6, 7 foot alligator, but like a lizard, and they were everywhere, just like
Wow.
crawling. It was insane. And what else did we do? We jumped off 6-story cliffs in Cuba. It was
In
yeah,
Cuba. Oh, so Cuba was really more fun.
it was a lot of
I,
fun. Yeah,
you alluded to that, man.
but we
Man.
played. Yeah, we played like three shows, and I think I told you we had a comedian who was Air Force guy
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
was with us as part of the USO thing, and he opened for us every night. And by the third night, uh, people were throwing stuff at him. We had to help him off
Sure.
stage. He
Sure.
was not funny, and he was very sad. He was not happy about not being funny. He probably had to have some therapy after that tour.
Sure.
But
Sure.
so it was kind of a very
Wow.
eclectic, Heart Attack Diner with this comedian who wasn't
Wow.
funny, driving around
Oh
in a
my
van on
God.
Guantanamo Bay, drinking beer, and there are other stories that I won't go into, but
Yeah.
just crazy down there, crazy.
Suffice it to say, Part told me about sex on the beach, and it could involve the drink,
Well,
but it actually could involve the act. So
I don't know anything
we'll
about the
we'll,
act, but I know
we'll
about
leave
the
it at
drink
that.
very well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
a woo woo, right? It's the same as a
It's
woo woo.
cool. Yeah, yeah,
Woo
yeah.
woo, which you're famous
Ooh.
for delivering pitchers and gallon jugs of.
So let me go to the question and answer thing. This will be great.
Okay,
You'll
hit me,
love this.
hit
Park,
me.
you'll love it. Okay. Did you find out about Alan Holdsworth from Michael?
No,
You
no, I
discovered it on
didn't.
your own?
The, I found out about Holsworth from a guitar player named Jim Reed,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I have no idea whatever happened to that guy. Uh, Another flash in the evening, guitar player that I somehow got, and again, there was no way to keep in touch. That's what's so crazy about right
Yeah.
now is everyone is at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but
But
this
20
guy
years
just
ago, they were not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we're talking 40 years ago now when we get to
Wow.
Holsworth.
Uh,
And this guy said, "Man, you got to check this out." And we were jamming, playing Rush tunes or something, and
wow.
he's like, "Check
Really?
this out."
Yeah.
Well, I kind of lost my mind over it. I bought the record IOU,
Uh,
Gary Husband, drummer. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just really, I'm a drummer, but my father's a guitar player. I listen to guitar players. That's Oz Noy or whether Scott Henderson or Jeff Beck or Alan Holsworth or Scott Henderson. Who, I'm a guitar fan. Really,
Sure.
and Holsworth, I think, just changed the instrument for everybody. Certainly for jazz players,
Totally.
like
Totally.
like like Van Halen changed it for rock players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were friends. They did a lot of the
Yeah.
same things. Van Halen produced one of his records, Road Games, which is a great
Right.
record. Chad Wackerman on drums on that record. Uh,
Wow.
but yeah, Jim Reed introduced me to Holsworth, and I got to see him probably 5 or 6 times. The last time I saw him was with Virgil Donati and Jimmy
Wow.
Haslip, and that was at the
Wow.
Plaza Live, and that's just 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Right.
Insane. I saw Holsworth with Chad Wackerman, with Gary Husband twice, and also with Virgil Donati. So with all three of the main drummers. But yeah,
Um,
incredible guitar player.
let me ask with the Chad Wackerman. What I I remember
Another Zappa alumni.
yeah, but I remember exclusively or particularly um, the Gary Husband gig there at the social or whatever. But was there Wackerman
Yeah, at,
with
at the Downtown Jazz and Blues Club in Orlando.
wow
Holsworth
separately
played there a bunch of times, 3 or 4 times, and
wow
but he had both Gary Husband and Wackerman there.
Wackerman wow
Twice,
and
twice with Gary, and I think once with Chad Wackerman.
so Park, let's go into drummers. Come on. Um, Chad Wackerman is, I know, one of your favorites, but it certainly isn't your only favorite. I have my favorites.
Yeah, it's so hard, man. Right? I mean, Vinny
It
Colaiuta,
is.
kind of comes to
Vinny,
mind, but like
Vinny.
today, there's so many great drummers out there. There's this guy Eric Moore.
So
Uh,
I'm doing old school. I don't know
yeah.
any of the new guys. So
So yeah, I'd have
our
Dave
favorites.
Weckl, Vinny, you know,
Terry,
Terry
Terry,
Bozzio, yeah,
Terry
uh,
Bozzio.
Joey Hierta, El uh, El Negro, what they call him. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard. People, oh, who's your favorite drummer?
Yeah, you can't even answer.
Who's your
Yeah,
favorite guitar player? I'd rather talk about guitar players really than
me
drummers.
too.
I,
Me
I
too. Me
you
too.
know, there's just so many. Look, there are kids, and I mean kids,
Yeah.
kids that are 15 years old that are playing things that were unimaginable when I was 15
Mhm.
years old. You
Right.
know, there's these different styles now. You have your gospel guys that just totally shred, like Eric Moore. If you're a drummer, and you want to see a gospel guy who just rips, Eric Moore. Then you have rudiment guys. Dave Weckel's kind of a rudiment guy. I think he's a jazz or rudiments that I mean,
Sure.
you got to know your rudiments. Everybody has to, but
Sure.
there's just so many different styles now. There weren't so many styles
Ton.
30 years ago. I don't think. I
Tons.
mean, you had Latin and a bossa nova and this and that, but now, man, it's just so amazing what it's so mathematically amazing what people are playing now
Man.
that you would have never even
Yeah.
thought of
Yeah.
30 years ago.
So let me. Yes. Okay.
Same thing
So
on the
here are the
guitar.
questions. I hit you with the Colesworth question. Oh, here's the question: Who quit their jobs to go to the Cancun gig?
Oh, you already asked that one. I did. That was the only one.
Ah, right. Okay. Easy. And then I have a bullet that says Eric Johnson, and we can't go into that because that'll be the end of the night. League, League of Nations. How did you join the band?
Well, we talked about that already a little bit, but just from Scott reaching out to me and then on from there, and we're going to be trying to put some shows together here in the next few months too.
Really? So League is Scott is not asleep and everything is
Yeah.
wow.
I think April, May we'll probably have some dates booked here in Orlando. So I'll keep you
Wow.
posted on that.
I hope at the end of this I can play the League the CD you guys did there in the studio, the live thing. Hopefully I can do that. One thing I haven't been able to do is like patch all this shit in. It's more about getting the message out.
Well, you need to hire a producer, a technician to do all that for you, right?
I know.
Couple
There's
different
producers.
camera angles.
Yeah, there's some kids that work that would do good. Okay, Solar Eclipse.
Oh man, I love that band.
With Jeff.
Jeff Passanaugh.
How did that come about?
Jeff, if you're out there, dude. Jeff's in LA now.
He is.
California guy.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy. Very smart guy. We were inseparable friends for many years. Yeah, man, Solar Eclipse, Donnie and Cindy Landini. Great band. Phil, where are you going? He's left me. Anyhow, Solar Eclipse, band that played over in Cocoa Beach a lot, all over Cocoa Beach for those, if there's any locals watching us here. Holiday Inn, we used to play there every weekend. And that's how I learned how to play reggae, which is a totally different thing. Hold on, I got an idea.
Did you give up? You might have given up. Sorry. Did you give up? Hey, all right. All right. Oh, killer. Oh, nice. Oh my God, keep going. I missed it. Wow.
I'm afraid to think what that sounded like.
So Park, I went to the restroom and came
Yep.
back, and
And
you were playing.
I did a little bit of drumming while you were gone.
Yeah, yeah.
To kind of fill a gap there.
It was perfect.
Well, I don't know if it was perfect. It was probably crazy loud through a computer microphone. We'll see.
So my dear friend Park has been my mentor. He's been my childhood friend first, and then my mentor in music. And initially I was his mentor, but then he took over, and that's kind of how I introduced you to the Beatles and stuff, and then you surpassed me quickly.
Revolver.
Revolver, the Beatles
Yeah.
album. So I didn't hear the drumming, but I'll go back to it. But perhaps we'll part. Could you take the camera and just show us what's around you
Well,
or
I'm
behind you?
using the laptop camera here, so
Okay, gotcha.
but I can move it around a little bit.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to show here. It's a console and
Gotcha.
just some studio stuff here.
Yeah.
Power amps and processors and whatnot, and I have a small drum kit set up in here, Pearl kit. And then there's some bass drum. There's some other drums up there.
Upstairs.
Yeah, just I've been relegated to the garage now.
Sure.
My studio is not what it once was, but it's.
So let me ask. You're playing. You're practicing periodically.
I play drums every day. I play them every day.
Wow.
Pretty much every day. Yeah.
Wow.
It could be an hour. It could be 15 minutes. But yeah, I sit behind them every day, and I mess with the recording stuff every day too.
Gotcha. So the garage has become the studio.
Yeah. One day of the garage. It's difficult because my hearing is very poor. I'm have severe hearing loss from all this music we've been talking about over the years. So I wear hearing aids, and it's hard. It's difficult to mix music, and hear. So that's a challenging hobby for me.
Wow.
But yeah.
I didn't realize that, but makes sense. Here's Park. 35 years later, after hearing like monitors and headsets.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my God. Travers. Do you have any Travers references? I know somewhere along the way, not necessarily.
Who's that?
Pat Travers.
Yeah. I've met him a few times. A big fan. I had a bunch of his records and played a bunch of his
We
tunes
did
in bands.
early on. Same records.
Yeah. Putting It Straight, Making Magic, Heat in the Street.
Yeah.
Those are great records.
Heat in the Street.
Great record. Mars Cowling on bass, Tommy Aldridge.
Nico
McBrain on Putting It Straight, who's been with Iron Maiden for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, he's got his band now has Jaco Pastorius's
Dave Pastorius. Yeah.
And who's freaking great player, and I've got a
Um,
real good drummer with him now too. Kind of a jazz guy who I've seen some video, but I haven't seen him. Uh, haven't really seen Travers playing locally in some time, but
no,
I
right.
I saw his interview, some of his interview on Rick Beato's. He has a
Rick Beato.
yeah, and it's okay, but yeah, big Pat Travers fan.
So part back it was during COVID. It would have been like, I don't know, they were coming out of COVID 23 or something.
Yeah,
So I'm at Tuffy's in Sanford,
yeah,
and Scott was the only one that went. I said, Scott, you got to go see Gary Hoey.
yeah.
So I go to see Gary Hoey because I had to see Gary Hoey, and so Scott's there. It's just the two of us, and the show started before it got dark. But Travers went on um, uh, when it got dark.
Yeah.
But
So Gary
so
Hoey opened for Travers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so out on the pad out back before it got dark. This was awesome. Um, Travers's little crew is people around him. They're his age, and one of them is his wife, I'm sure, and they're friends. They're all friends and stuff, and they're smoking cigarettes. So I'm a cigarette smoker. So I go on the pad there, and the doors are open, and you can see the band that's on stage that's playing, and Travers and those guys, and his little entourage, and it was a really tight knit little group. But I'm a smoker as well, so I'm standing on this little section of property that you know I'm right with them. And Travers pulls out a joint and he goes, "Does anybody got a light?" And they're all kind of like, they've been drinking and hanging out. They know like it's gonna be a fun night. And I'm like, I do. So I light Pat Travers' joint. I thought that was cool.
Well, that
I
guy.
lit his joint.
I happen to know this. That guy rolls his own cigarettes. He
Right,
does.
right, right.
I've
Wow.
watched him do it. Zigzag. I've watched him roll in a restaurant.
Cigarettes.
This is
Cigarettes.
before, yeah, cigarettes. This is before,
Wow.
you couldn't smoke in a restaurant.
Mhm.
And I'm in Winter Park somewhere, and I'm like literally sitting next to him at this
Wow.
restaurant, and he's just whips out the zigzag and just rolled his own cigarette right there.
Wow.
I think that's that's kind of a British thing, man. I remember Heart Attack Diner. We were recording at the studio here in Orlando, and Deep Purple was there at the same time. They were there for like
Wow.
2 months,
Oh
but
my gosh.
and so we would record when they weren't there.
Sure.
It's funny. I have some pictures that I found recently of Ian Pace's drum kit with my drum kit set up next to it. It's pretty funny.
Park. I
But
have
those
to
guys,
see that.
yeah, I have to get that out. But I remember those guys. They all rolled their own cigarettes, and
Wow.
they were definitely smoking pot too. But they rolled their own cigarettes.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Travers was in England for a while, not long, but for a while.
So the history of Travers really is he went to London, much like Chrissy Hines. Um, um, they went to London to make
Much,
it, and they
much
make
like
it. They
Jimi
made it.
Hendrix,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Jimi
yeah.
Hendrix.
They made it, and Hendrix did the same thing. He
Yeah.
they Hendrix went to London for the record. Hendrix in the Jimi Hendrix Experience is Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, and he met those guys in London because they were put together,
Yeah.
and whoever put that together should get
Well,
a,
Pat Travers was put with Mars Cowling, Peter Cowling,
right,
bass player,
right,
and with
right.
Nico McBrain, the drummer. If you
Wow.
listen to a record,
Those
Nico
drummers,
McBrain's
those
been with.
players were great on that first record. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, you think of Nico McBrain, you think of Iron Maiden. He's been with Iron Maiden for 30 years.
Mm.
But if you listen to a record called "Putting It Straight," which is Travers' first record, or first, successful record, whatever, Nico McBrain's on that, and that record is funky, man. It's funk rock. It's killer. There's a tune on there. Uh, oh shoot. Uh, uh, oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think. But it's an instrumental. It's an instrumental tune, and it's just you know
Wow.
it could be the average white band. It's just super
Right,
funky.
right,
It's really really great
right,
great
right.
tune, and it's this half step thing. It's really cool. But great. So that was a talk about a power trio, man. That was a serious power trio.
Right.
Travers used our warehouse a couple times at Heart Attack Diner when he was bringing new people in. Like great drummer Kevin Neal played with Travers for a
Kevin
few years.
Neal. You. So I want to go on record, and when you mention that name, so Travers went to and played at the power station in Melbourne back in when I was dating Tressa, and we went and I called you that day and you said I'm in the car. Well, it wouldn't have been in the car with the guy because we didn't have cell phones. I don't think back then, but you said we're going to the power station in Melbourne, and I'm with the drummer for Pat Travers,
Yeah, so Kevin
and I
Neal
went and saw it. Yeah.
joined them. He was with them for a couple years, and Sue,
Wow.
yeah, great drummer. And
Wow.
so uh, he would come over. I knew all these Travelers tunes like really well. I just knew them, and
You're
so
the
he
backup
came
drummer.
over, and we kind of went, with drumsticks on the carpet. Just kind of went
Sure.
through these parts. But they
Sure.
used our warehouse to rehearse to work him in, and but yeah, Kevin I think lives in Lakeland somewhere. He had I think he got hit by a car. Actually, he's had some health issues, but he was a great drummer, and he's with Travers for a long time. There's
Wow.
another local guy that was with Travers for a while, a guy named Scott Zamowski, who I knew in high school and still know. Great
Wow.
drummer, and
High school.
if you look at the videos for Travers, like snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine, whatever. The main video that'll show up on YouTube is him with Jerry Riggs on guitar and Peter Cowling on bass, but Scott Zamowski on drums. That's the
Yeah.
video that'll pop up
Wow.
first for snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine. And
Wow.
speaking of that tune, snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine. Search oh my god, who was a guitar player with Mr. Big? Gilbert, Paul Gilbert.
Paul Gerber.
So if anyone's out there, you want to hear an incredible version of snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine, search Paul Gilbert, snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine. It's at a clinic that he's given at a music store, but
Wow.
it's a mind-blowing version of that tune as a trio. It rocks. It's just
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, check that out.
Wow. Dude, this is so fun. So,
It
of
is.
course, the police would be brought up here. The band police. There were two bands. In my recollection, in the 80s, back at UCF, when I was living in Cayenne and stuff. But It was the Police and Holdsworth.
Yeah.
So basically, Park said in the Police I already experienced, so we'll surpass that and go on to Holdsworth. So so Park says you have to check this album out, and it was albums back then. He literally brought the album out to me in East Orlando because it's the only way you could hear music, and it had to have been IOU. It was the
It
IOU
it
album.
was it was.
It was
You
the
know,
IOU
you
album,
you
and
just
I was
talked about
like, "Oh my
records.
god!" And my
There's
life changed because
yeah, that record
ah,
definitely changed the way I listen to music. That and another one, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Intermounting Flame. I think that's a
right,
really, I'm serious. For me, that
right,
was a life changing record because my dad had me so brainwashed. All I was listening to until I was about 14 was jazz guitar players: Cal Farlow, Wes Montgomery, Kenny Burrell, Barney
right,
Kessel. I can go on and on. And then,
yeah,
you turned me on to the Beatles. I got Revolver, and somebody left a copy of Intermounting Flame by Mahavishnu at our house. And so between the Beatles and
right,
Intermounting Flame, I mean, those two pieces of art couldn't be further apart, right?
right,
And they are.
right.
It is artwork. It's art
It's
right there.
art. It's art. It's art.
And
It
they
is
couldn't be
art.
further apart. But I had them at the same time, and it's just like insane musically. I still listen to Intermounting Flame all the time. That record never gets old. It's just
John McLaughlin.
oh my god, it's still today the pinnacle of jazz fusion. It really is. It's
Uh,
uh, it's it's written but it's so improvised and there's so much going on. Those guys never played those tunes the same twice. It was always,
right,
the
right.
music was just
You couldn't. You couldn't
a,
play.
a small blueprint of just a beginning of where to go. You know,
Um,
yeah.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking with the fusion stuff. If you really free float the fusion stuff. Um, I become sequestered because I can't distinguish one better than the other. There were so many good ones. So that was so lame.
Well, you
Um,
know what? Do you remember we went to see Tony McAlpine a few years ago, and there was a band that opened for them,
they were
Arc
awesome
Arc something.
from
They're carrying.
Jacksonville.
No, it was here in Orlando. We went to see him, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think you
yeah.
bought. I think I bought their record too.
We
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band. Arc something, Arch, Arc something. You
Gotcha.
talked to him for a while.
Archangels or yeah, right, right.
Yeah, not Archangel, but something. But they're full on hardcore fusion, and they were really good. Guitar player was really good, and they're certainly carrying a torch. They're still out there. I follow the
Yeah,
drummer who's in Nashville on Instagram, and I see they're still playing.
cool.
But yeah, there's not a lot of fusion music out there particularly. But what you said something
Right.
about records. There's no way to get music anymore unless you're streaming it, which is really low quality. Like
Yeah.
I really can't believe like CDs are gone. That was
I know.
the best medium for
Yeah,
music ever,
yeah,
really,
yeah.
and very accessible. I mean, they don't put CD players. God, I must sound really old right now, but they don't
We
put CD
sound
players
old, but
they
that's
don't put
okay.
CD players in cars.
Right.
And when I
Right.
do a mix here on in my studio, I put it I would put it on a CD and I go out to my car and I listen to it. That's where
Yeah,
I listen to
yeah,
music. So
yeah.
uh, now I put it on a thumb drive and take it out to my car and listen to it. but you can't buy a CD. I don't want to download an MP3. It's
Of
so low
anybody.
quality. The audio is so low
Of
quality,
anybody. Right,
you know.
right, right, right,
And
right.
yeah, so I sound like an old person,
Um,
but
let's um, so so I know you got annoyed at the hang on, the audio, but I think we should play the audio again. I think we should play the audio again just to get some police stuff on. Um, I'm hoping. Let me get the. Give me a sec. Connections. Okay. All right. So, Park, tell me if this is like obnoxious, and it probably will be quick.
just turn the volume way down, and it may not sound so
Gotcha,
crazy loud.
gotcha, gotcha. See, I don't have anybody that can tell me that in parts of it, but I got that. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing anything. Ah, it all starts with the Spotify. Here we go. So, for the listeners, this is probably the end of the podcast. So, Park, I typically announce the fact that it's the end if it's gone too long. And you don't have to participate any longer. And then it seems
Yeah,
to go
just
well.
turn it down just a little bit. Turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Okay. Yeah, right there.
Really? I'm
What
gonna
is it?
turn.
What is it?
It's live police from
Is it
'93
the
or something.
radio, or do you know what it is?
I know it's me playing it, but
Is
it's like a old.
is that your theme song, Phil, for the show?
No,
Oh, okay. So what is
no.
it? What's the name of the band?
Well, that was the police, even though it was
Oh, it was
horribly.
the police. I can't
It
hear
was
it.
police, but it was horribly
What
represented.
song was it? Just so I know.
It was. I think it was live King of Pain,
Oh,
but that didn't help my cause.
yeah.
So, Park, I'm gonna play you.
You gonna play
Here,
something else?
are we still on? Oh man, we're still on.
Are we?
So,
It says
okay.
we're live 133.34, 133 and 36 seconds. Wow.
So,
Time
hour and a
flies.
half. Hour and a half. Um. So, before we hang up from this,
Right.
do you have any more? And I think we'll do a part two because it stands to reason.
Part two would be good.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about NXS and
I
like
love that.
separately and
Now,
separately. So,
Now Rogers produced them as well.
oh my gosh, did he really?
He did.
Man,
Original Sin is the
no.
name of that record, which is also
Wow. Wow,
fantastic.
did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Phil, thank you for inviting me on your podcast, your show. I appreciate it. been a lot of fun, man. Reminiscing,
Wow.
talking about music. It's very
Wow.
cool. We have a lot of history, my friend.
We have a lot of history. Yes. Oh my gosh.
We could dedicate a whole show to the racing history that we have.
We could.
I
We
mean,
would
that
certainly.
alone
So.
would take it. That could be a mini series. Okay. That could just be a show of its own. The Phil and Park Racing. Well, really, it should be the Phil, Park, and Joe Racing Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly good.
But
It
what a
definitely good.
blast. And what a cool thing you're doing, man. It takes some preparation and you're making it happen. You're doing it. I'm kind of jealous. I've wanted to do something like this for some time, and it just talked about
Cool.
it. You're putting it together, so very
Cool.
cool. Very cool.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Park, dude, brother. All right.
I love you,
Man.
man.
I love you too. All right. This is Killer. Signing out. Au revoir.
Au
I
revoir.
think that's right. Au revoir.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Ciao, ciao.
But I just can't find that. Okay. The end
Found it?
stream. Yeah. And this was the second one. Do you really want to know?